My time in Spain was over, and with a great swell coming in, the next day I flew to Lisbon, Portugal. I took the public transit to Carcavelos, which is the closest decent surf beach to the city center. More pastel de nata. So I'm editing this video a little bit after it was filmed, and I've since lost my phone in France. So I lost a lot of the photos and videos from my time in Portugal, so this episode's going to be a little bit less detailed than normal, unfortunately. Anyways, I checked into the surf hostel and got a surf in before meeting up with a friend, Camille, from France, who I made a few weeks back on my one-day layover in Lisbon. The following morning, the swell was on. The first session of the day was amazing, and I got maybe the best tube of my life, but sadly, I only recorded my second session, you see here, which was mostly just wipeouts. The Carcavelos wave is awesome, a beach break with a sandy bottom with steep waves, good for turns, tubes, and airs. The only issue is that there's an insane amount of current you can kind of see here that just pulls you down the beach as you wait for waves if you don't constantly paddle against it. It's also a pretty crowded spot. After a 6-hour day of intense surfing, my body was tired and I had to call it quits. I took some videos of the other surfers from the beach you can see here. Over the next few days, I surfed some more, although the waves didn't get quite as good as they were the first couple of days. I made some other friends, like Samuel, working as a digital nomad from Ecuador, who was an awesome guy I hung out with a ton while in Lisbon. The next day, my friend Camille and I took a bus up to Nazaré, the world-famous surf break renowned for having the biggest waves ever surfed. You arrive in the town and walk up a cliff that looks out over the bay. At the top are some houses and shops with a pathway down to the point where the waves break. There's a museum that shows some of the boards people have ridden there and stuff like that. The day we went, there wasn't much swell in the water, so nobody was surfing it, but it was still so cool to see a spot I've grown up admiring on the screen. The next day, I hung out with my friend Nicolas from Italy and gave him a surf lesson. Here are a couple of his first waves. That night, I had one of the coolest surfs of my life. The sunset lasted about 30 minutes and was constantly changing colors. The normally crowded surf break thinned out and I could catch more waves. I did my best ever top turn on the biggest set wave of the day with the sunset lighting up the sky behind me. I'd been waiting for a wave like that pretty much all trip and I felt so grateful to get it. Moments like that make the hassle of money and travel fade away. Just that one wave alone left me feeling content with the whole trip. On my last day in Portugal, I surfed more and hung out with new friends from New Zealand and Australia. Portugal was a ton of fun and in the books. Next up, the end of the trip in Chamonix, France.